You don't have a time problem. You have a decision and energy problem disguised as a calendar. If your task list keeps growing while your day keeps shrinking, the fix is not adding more tasks. It's changing the way time and energy meet each other. Time is inventory. It sits on your shelf whether you use it or not. Energy is electricity. If the current is weak or scattered, even a perfect plan won't turn the lights on. A task list hoards inventory. Timeboxing routes electricity through a single circuit so something actually runs. The shift is not philosophical. It's mechanical. Stop storing intentions and start scheduling behavior. Here's the short neurochemical logic behind why timeboxing tends to stick when lists do not. Dopamine is the initiation signal. It rises when a start is obvious, near, and rewarded. Noradrenaline is the alerting signal. It climbs when stakes are clear and time is bounded. Acetylcholine is the focus signal. It locks sensory and cognitive resources onto one target when distractions are muted and the next action is concrete. Task lists create energy leaks. Each item is a micro-ambiguity. Every glance invites context switching. And rewards are delayed or missing. With timeboxing, you shrink the gap to the first move, bind the effort to a finite window, and finish with a visible closure and a small payoff. That triad, clear start, bounded effort, immediate closure, maps cleanly to the brain's chemistry for doing rather than delaying. Common myths keep people welded to lists. One myth says lists are more flexible, so they're better for creative or variable days. The reality is that unbounded flexibility breeds friction. Tiny decisions multiply until your energy is gone before you start. A second myth says timeboxing is rigid and therefore unsustainable. What actually fails is brittle scheduling without buffers. Real timeboxing is elastic at the edges and firm at the center. The box protects one thing now, and the day protects space to move boxes when life moves you. A third myth insists you must first find the perfect tool. That stalls initiation. The brain cannot release a clean start signal when the first action is compare apps. Pencil, calendar, or plain text works because the behavior is the system. Evidence backs the practice, and you don't need to wade through jargon to use it. In controlled comparisons of planned work, bounded intervals with explicit start cues produce higher initiation rates and fewer context switches than open-ended lists, which is one reason techniques like the classic focused interval method travel well from lab tasks to real work. Teams that block time for deep tasks report fewer task collisions and higher completion rates relative to teams that only maintain backlog lists. The benefit shows up not because boxes make you faster, but because they make you finish what you start. The practical takeaway is simple. Constraining when and how long you'll act reduces decision load and increases observable completions, which is exactly what you want if you're trying to build consistency rather than chase bursts. If you want a system that sticks, change the two levers that matter most. Reduce the friction to start and bundle context so your brain doesn't keep paying the switching tax. Start friction lives in the first 30 seconds. When the box begins, you should already know the first keystroke, the first field to open, or the first sentence to rewrite. That means you end each workbox by seeding the next one with a one-line next move that is concrete and effortless to execute. Context bundling means you don't alternate incompatible modes. Drafting and editing fight each other. Outbound sales and data entry pull on different attentional muscles. Group similar tasks into adjacent boxes, so acetylcholine can do its locking job once instead of restarting with each hop. Both levers are invisible on a list and obvious in a day made of boxes. Here's a tight protocol you can drop into your day. Put 20 minutes on a simple timer and choose one task that you can complete or clearly segment in that window. Before you press start, write a one-line first move and open the exact screen or document you need. When the timer begins, do only that move. If you stall, rewrite the move so it is smaller and immediately actionable. When the timer ends, make the finish visible by marking the segment complete in a running change log or by saving a dated version. Then grant yourself a small reward you already decided on. A stretch at the window, a cup of tea, a 2-minute song you like. If momentum is high, you may run a second box, but the first box counts as a win regardless. The brain learns the pattern: clear start, bounded effort, visible finish, small reward. Repetition makes initiation easier tomorrow. Decision friction is what makes you wander toward anything except the thing you said you would do. Remove it before the box starts. Eliminate triggers that pull you sideways and set defaults that make the right move automatic. Silence only the few notifications that can actually hijack you. Pin the one tab or file you need and close the rest. And put your phone out of arm's reach in another room. Preload your tools. If you draft, open the blank page with the working title already typed. If you code, open the file and jump the cursor to the function that needs changing. If you analyze, load the dataset and the cell where you'll write the first query. Build small speed bumps at the edges of the box so it is easier to continue than to drift. Default to start. When the clock hits the scheduled minute, your timer launches and the cursor is already in the field where you type. Default to finish. Decide in advance what counts as done for this box. A saved draft with a timestamp, a pushed commit on a named branch, a sent email with a single clear decision. Remove micro choices inside the box by forbidding mid-block tool switching. If you must look something up, park a bracketed note and continue. By shrinking choices and hiding temptations, you lower noradrenaline noise and protect acetylcholine's locking effect. You'll feel less heroic and more inevitable, which is exactly how consistent work feels from the inside. Run a 1-week experiment to prove to yourself that the system sticks. For 7 days, schedule exactly 2 boxes per workday, 1 deep box that advances a compounding result, and 1 maintenance box that clears a small queue. Define a single observable outcome for each box before it starts, and write the first move for the next day's first box before you stop working. Keep a tiny changelog with the date, the box type, and the concrete thing produced. 1 line per box, nothing fancy. At the end of day 2, check that your boxes are small enough to finish. If not, cut scope rather than adding time. Measure the week with 2 numbers, boxes scheduled and boxes completed. A completion rate above 3/4 means the design fits your reality. If it falls below that, shorten the boxes or reduce the total. On day 7, review your changelog for patterns. Which first moves triggered smooth starts, which contexts paired well, and where interruptions clustered. Adjust next week by adding small buffers around the times where collisions happened, and by placing similar work back to back. The goal is not perfection, it is a repeatable floor you can hit on ordinary days, and a ceiling you can exceed when energy is high. If you can run 2 boxes on 5 days, you will accumulate 10 visible proof points every week that your time turned into output. If this helped you get 1 real block done, keep it going. You'll find more deep dives like this on the channel. You can subscribe to keep the protocol top of mind and share it with a friend who is drowning in lists. Most importantly, schedule your next box now so the decision is made before the day starts arguing with you.